I mean, it's a lot of different groups. I mean, like it depends on even what you're into. I mean, you can have groups that you'll have different DJs along with different groups mixing different levels of music, like trap music, and adding different implementing different sounds in. Or a good DJ friend of mine, Z-Trip, you could turn around and do something cool and then give that to LL. So I mean, I think it's definitely still here where people are allowing different levels of ingredients to be put in their music to then speak about different things. I don't think that is a problem, even if there is to be talked about as a problem, but I don't think musically that's a problem. I just think sometimes lyrically the same thing is said over and over. So it doesn't matter if you have Kendrick Lamar, it doesn't matter if you have 50, I don't know, Nicki Minaj for that matter. It just seems like you can always hear them, even Drake, you can have Lil Wayne over great, cool tracks. I just think that sometimes lyrically the same thing is being said. It's definitely where the music is. I always said like it was no different than it was. It's no different now than it was in the beginning. In terms of when MCs talked about partying, say ho, put your hands in the air, party like you just don't care. It took someone like Melly Mel to then say, broke glass everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And then everyone was like, oh, wait a minute, we can talk about the hood, we can talk about problems, and then everyone followed and did that. And then it's no different than, maybe another group like Treacherous 3 start talking big words, and everyone's like, wait a minute, we can put big words. So there's always a level of following that you're gonna find in the culture, just hands down, there's no way around it. So I mean, like where, you can have hip hop transcend and be different, and you even had Dlso.It do what we did and was like, just be about yourself, dress the way you want to do, be free, come the way you want to come to work, but just have fun. But then you can have, Jay-Z coming up right behind us, like, or Biggie, like, hey, be lyrical, but be fly. And then someone was like, all right, be fly, less lyrical. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just keeps going and going. So that's kind of where we are now. You can have, like, once again, great MCs, because I'll say it to anyone, like Drake, he can rhyme his ass off. But still, along with him rhyming, a certain way he needs to look, because it's just fashion and all that plays into it as well. So it's just where rap is until someone tries something different and goes someplace else with it. I definitely appreciate moving forward. Dlso, hands down, has always said that. I mean, I have no desire to take music back to boom bap or back in the day. I don't need that. Any music for it to survive, or any person to survive, they need to go forward. So I mean, I'm definitely big on where music can try different things and go different places. I mean, Dlso can't forget, like when we came out, we didn't rhyme over the normal James Brown beat at the time. We would rhyme over different beats and different sounds and different genres of music, or even up until like, a few years ago when we tried something different with Gorillas. I mean, so we've always been big on, always making the music go further. But it just, at the same time, I do feel that it needs quality in it. I mean, just because someone decides to rhyme over electronic music doesn't make it good. It can turn around and be like, you have to still add quality into that music and quality into what you present over it.
The last year, there's been a lot of music coming out, the shit's been weak, you know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas trying to think.
I mean, hopefully, people will be willing to hear new music. I mean, unfortunately, and it's sad to say, but it's the truth that a lot of my peers, like, groups that I started out with, or groups who came out before us, a lot of times they stick to like putting, doing and performing shows of just old stuff because our peer group that listens to music never shows interest in wanting to hear new music. And I think the problem with that is that a lot of us, we want to reminisce when we're younger. We want to reminisce when our stomachs were smaller and our waist was skinnier. So, I think that's the problem. I think you got to learn how to be able to hear music and appreciate where the artist that you were into when you were 20 can take you when you're 40. So our music, man, what I love about what we're doing now it's something that I feel that someone 40 years old can love, and someone that's 19. And when we first came out, we had that. We had, since we gave so much and tried so much, the crowd was like, you know, people our age when we were 18, but we had a 30-year-old in the crowd. So even now, I mean, we're blessed to have that now. And, you know, we'll do this show tonight, and then, you know, you'll see like a new kid who got down with us from when we did whatever we did with Gorillas, and you have someone who was down with us from the beginning. So we've never had that problem. We've never had just a sea of people our age. It's always been a great range. And I mean, hopefully with the music that we're going to present in these new albums coming out, that we can have all these listeners appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? The 1-on-1, 2-on-2s assembled in the center of squares like statues.
I mean, I don't look at it personally. I don't look at it as being offensive because someone who isn't the same color as me is taking a portion of what we do, and then they're using it in their culture, or they're interpreting it. I don't look at it as offensive because I think, or I know, in things that I learned when I was coming up, there's groups that I borrowed from. You know, I love, you know, like white groups, whether it was Chicago or, you know, looking at old footage of the Beatles, or you know, looking at groups like Eurythmics or David Bowie, and then we implemented that in our music. So I don't, like I said, I don't take offense to it because I just think that that's someone embracing what moves their heart and their soul, you know. No different than I think what moved Dlso.It or what moved Tribe Called Quest or Grandmaster Flash for that matter, you know. Just like Blondie, when Blondie got a hold of the hip hop music, that made her make the song Rapture, which became a great song that I apply to my life every day. So I don't find it offensive what Miley Cyrus would do or how she interpreted music. I just think that she needs to appreciate it and don't look at it as something that's just a trend. That's the only thing. Like, you know, be a part of the culture and embrace it.
Some choose to veer it off the course. The main source missing. You pay no dues, you earn no pension.
Giving something different or giving yourself to the music will always be the most important thing. You know, it's not important for Eminem, or it wasn't important for Beastie Boys to be black. They can't be black. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for them to give what they wanted to give to the music, because then that in turn made me feel like, damn, like what Beastie Boys did was great. Like they added their flavor to it, and then I even felt like, wow, like I want to try to add that to what I am. So it's always important, whether it's someone blessed to be from Milan, to add what they know to the music. And if they're Italian, that's great. If they're Asian, that's great. Add who you are to the music.